Today I'm identifying houses of worship, churches, synagogue, and mosques as essential places that provide essential services.
So that was President Trump this afternoon announcing places of worship are now considered essential. KUSI's Hunter Sowards has more of what the president has to say concerning this, and she joins us live from Mission Bay with more. Hunter?
Well, Logan, this is a very big day for those faith communities. The president said this afternoon in that same press conference that the CDC would be issuing guidelines for how churches could safely reopen. Those guidelines, we've learned, include not only limiting the number of people who attend those services, but suggesting that they be held outside or in well-ventilated areas. Now, the president also said what would happen if governors in places like the state of California were to defy his orders to reopen churches. Take a listen.
Some governors have deemed liquor stores and abortion clinics as essential, but have left out churches and other houses of worship. It's not right. So I'm correcting this injustice and calling houses of worship essential. I call upon governors to allow our churches and places of worship to open right now. If there's any question, they're going to have to call me, but they're not going to be successful in that call. These are places that hold our society together and keep our people united. The people are demanding to go to church and synagogue, go to their mosque. Many millions of Americans embrace worship as an essential part of life.
So there you have it. Pretty clear. There are many people, though, they have questioned what authority the president would have to actually override governors who do not comply, especially as it appears in recent days that Governor Gavin Newsom had begun taking steps to modify his restrictions of religious gatherings. This is, of course, after legal pressure from not only the Department of Justice warning him that his phased reopening plan discriminated against places of worship, but also pressure from a Chula Vista church. We've, of course, been following this from the beginning. They sued the state, saying that they should be allowed to open, with a ruling they're expected sometime today. We're going to be keeping you updated on that. Now, here is Governor Newsom's reaction to the president's announcement, along with insight from local criminal defense attorney Vikas Bajaj on how the president can actually enforce these orders. Take a listen.
We've been working throughout the diverse, interfaith community and within the diversity of our faith-based leadership all up and down the state, working on the differentiation, the large mega churches versus more neighborhood-style churches, the different styles of pews and sanitation protocols, and synagogues versus working with other faiths. We've been working on those sectoral guidelines, and we are just days away. At the latest on Monday, we will put out those guidelines.
Well, I mean, it could include deputizing law enforcement officers in San Diego, in other cities in California, and making sure they enforce the Constitution. Again, we hope and we pray it doesn't get to that point. But this is a right the president has, and I do not believe the president would flinch at exercising that right if he believes the citizens' constitutional rights are being trampled upon. If we wanted to go to church, we should still have that right. It's a practical analogy with the same force and effect. Singling out religious practitioners is something unconstitutional, and there is no rhyme or reason. There's no rational basis under the law.
Now, of course, 1,200 churches have already announced that regardless of if they have the governor's blessing or not, they will be opening their doors on May 31st. This is Pentecost Sunday. It's practiced in a number of faith communities as being 50 days after Easter, a very special day for many. They say that they are going to choose that day to reopen regardless of what this ruling is. But of course, many are hoping that it doesn't take them defying orders, because they feel that the governor should come out and already issue guidance on how they can do so safely. This is, of course, something that we will continue following very closely. For now, I'm reporting live from Mission Bay. Hunter Sowards, KUSI News.
Hunter, so much going on today with respect to churches. The president saying that they're essential. I know you've been following that Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals case with that Chula Vista church. It's almost 5:30. You're wondering if they haven't made a decision now. Are they going to today? And then the governor saying he's going to let us know no later than Monday. I mean, what happens this weekend?
It's something that I know the Chula Vista Church, the attorney that we've been in contact with today, hopes that they don't have to wait until Monday to hear this, that they feel they're going to be successful. I have been in contact with him. He says that another circuit in another part of the United States has actually ruled again in their favor. So while it wasn't the Ninth Circuit, this just puts more pressure on the Ninth Circuit to rule in their favor, because if not, this would be a split court, and it would mean that it is more likely to be taken up by the Supreme Court. But again, they are hoping to get word today on if their injunction to allow them to open on Pentecost Sunday will be granted. We'll be following that very closely and bringing the updates as soon as we have it. Logan.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate the update. Hunter Sowards live for us. Thanks, Hunter.